मेरी आके मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके।
दादा को ट्रैवल फॉरेनर्स की एक विशेषता बहुत अच्छी लगती है। रोना नहीं अच्छा लगता, लेकिन एक विशेषता अच्छी लगती। कौन सी? सच्ची दिल पर साहब सच बताने में डरेंगे नहीं, छिपाएंगे नहीं। तो सच्ची दिल इसके कारण बाप का डबल प्यार के भी पात्र। लेकिन सुनाया ना, सच्ची दिल तो रखी, साहब को तो राजी कर लिया, लेकिन परिवर्तन भी फिर इतना जल्दी कर, उसको बार बार अपने अंदर भी वर्णन नहीं करो। ये हो गया, ये हो गया, ये हो गया फिनिश। आगे के लिए अटेंशन, लेकिन कभी कभी अटेंशन के बजाय टेंशन कर देते, वो नहीं करना। बड़ा जस्टिस बनो, यहाँ भी चीफ जस्टिस होते हैं ना, आप तो चीफ के भी चीफ जस्टिस हो। अपने बेहतर जल्दी से जल्दी जस्टिस करो। राइट, रॉन्ग, नॉट और ऐसा नहीं होता तो ऐसा होता, ऐसे नहीं करते तो अच्छा होता। ये कमाने का खाता जमा करते, कमाई खत्म हो जाती, जमा का खाता खत्म। सोचो, लेकिन व्यर्थ नहीं, और बचा के दिखाओ। 1 घंटे से इतना बचाया, ये रिजल्ट दिखाओ कि व्यर्थ चालू हुआ, लेकिन हमने चेंज किया और जमा किया। वेस्ट को बचाओ, ये बचत का खाता बहुत खुशी दिलाएगा।
बड़ी मन भावनी मुरली प्रेम से प्राणों को सींचे, रसीली तान की ये डोर आपकी ओर ही खींचे, आपकी ओर ही खींचे। रूहानी स्नेह का जादू आपकी मीठी बातों में, रूहानी स्नेह का जादू आपकी मीठी बातों में।
Om Shanti. Transform the atmosphere with volcanic yoga tapasya. The power of purity. The great power of purity that you have is the most elevated power. It works like a fire to burn the rubbish of the world in a second. When you imbibe purity fully, the power of your elevated thoughts will then ignite the fire of love, and all rubbish will be burnt in that fire. You children now have to use this most elevated power. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today's day 5. Transform the atmosphere with volcanic yoga tapasya. Today's topic, the power of purity. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Is everyone okay? Avyakti Parivar. If we want to be free from wasteful thoughts, then we have to keep mind busy with elevated thoughts. That is why knowledge and then churning of knowledge, reflection, insights. Knowledge is not just more information, but the knowledge which is eternal truth, knowledge which is connected with making our life pure and happy and peaceful, knowledge which takes us to destination. So when we receive that knowledge, then we can keep our mind very, very occupied. Even when it comes to churning, but then going into silence. Our silence is not to empty ourselves, but silence is to experience what I have heard, more understanding, deepening our powers and our understanding. So we just heard power of purity. Now we have lot of activity, all the activities really depends on power, right? When there is power cut, then internet doesn't work and nothing really functions, right? So I internally see that power, spiritual power, power of purity, power of yoga. So when there is power, what is happening? Everything is functioning in a proper way. When lack of power, power cut happens sometimes. Then we could feel, oh, we are stuck. Baba just said, it's very interesting. This shouldn't have happened, that shouldn't happen, it should have been like that. And some say, but it's for making some improvement, some progress. But to what extent? But then at the same time, I'm creating, thinking what is right, what I have to do, what is next, what happened. So that is where now saving is happening. Some people have been asking, I always tell people that to be miser is not good, but you spend and you save. So they ask me what's the formula, and sometimes I know, sometimes not, but that's what experience is. That I remember that there was a discussion, it's in Malaysia, this topic came up that people come from work in the afternoon. So when they are coming, they are kind of want to be refreshed. So they want to put a um, hot tea, or something. So some say, but it's a lot of expense, and others say we should. So they decided that they will put. So as soon as the box of tea bags will finish, someone will bring two. As soon as milk finish, their fridge has another two bottle of milk. So what's happening here now? Is spending, but it's also saving. In the sense you don't have to now buy. So if we start applying with our thoughts, as we are talking about even purity, I mean, have wasteful thoughts is not purity. It's coming from some sanskars which we have formed from our mental habits, physical habits, and based on that, these thoughts keep erupting. I notice a lot these days when everyone is entangled, when it should be this, should I said, well, and I take those few moments to think, what has to be done. It could be thoughts, it could be your time, it could be money, it could be everything. Experiment with that, where you're spending, but actually that spending is saving. I don't know how clear I am, but when Baba was speaking, I immediately underlined, oh, that's what is the right answer. That instead of thinking back and forth, thinking of what has already happened, even there is a logic to talk about it. I remember that there was a time after program, immediately we had practice of debrief. So when we debrief, we say, this should have been better, you should have done this. So one time our lovely brother there, Sister Mohini, everyone goes so happy, full of power, and we sit here now and kind of even pointing out towards anyone causes little bit sorrow, heaviness. So after that we said we changed the name Deep Brief, and now we say let's brief in the sense of, in summary, we make notes of what better we could have done for the program. So sometimes we don't realize where we are wasting our thoughts and time and energy. And instead you immediately find the solutions. It's really very interesting when you do it, as Baba said very nicely. Even happiness is not just efforts, it comes from your inheritance. Now, when you are able to make things, like it was last month, constructive, build bridges, nirman in Hindi call it. When there is humility, awareness of being an instrument, humility, then you are constructive. And constructive is, okay, something didn't went well, but how do we make it immediately that is better than what it could have been? That's where saving is happening, and everything is like mending some things. So when Baba talks about power of purity, Baba is comparing power of purity as a fire. And immediately my thought went about, every day we talk about power. No, one is of course political, religious, but this power, current, electricity power, solar energy power, all these are powers, right? So just imagine the purity. So Baba is saying that great power of purity that you have, great power of purity which you have, is the most elevated power. So don't waste time in struggle little bit. Deeply appreciate and experience the power of purity. It works like a fire to burn the rubbish of the world in a second. Because, when these days the virus from Africa through a bird, right? Virus in Hong Kong through this, how internationally, worldwide they travel, right? And just imagine your thought, pure thought. Let it fly all over the world. If virus can come worldwide, why not vibrations? And you will know that it's serving the world, burning the rubbish. It's very interesting experiment. Baba says that when you imbibe purity fully, and which we have, few moments here, there, maybe the power of your elevated thoughts will then ignite power of your elevated thoughts, then ignite the power of love. Elevated thoughts will then ignite the fire of love, and all rubbish will be burnt in that fire. So, you children now have to use this most elevated power. My commitment to purity was when I knew it will serve. And I immediately said, oh yeah, I will live life of purity. Not just physically, but also internally. Because when something can serve the world, before we used to do materially, physically, and now we can do it through inner powers, which are most needed. So everyone, if you value your power of purity and power of love for the world service, or anyone, yesterday I was experimenting. I didn't know about this point, but some people are disillusioned and their thinking is really out of illusion. So what you do? Even if you try to explain that words doesn't work. So I thought I will use just power of purity, power of love, and just send those vibrations. And it did work. So these are the powers which works very, very subtle way. So tomorrow our homework will be to experiment on power of love, power of purity which ignites power of love, because I find there is whatever anyone does or everyone's part is, there is love for everyone. Because even that soul maybe doesn't want that, but that soul has that part, it's all right. It's another actor in a drama. Somewhere that love in our hearts are there, because when there is purity, there definitely will be love. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Avyakta Parivar. So, welcome to Avyakta Journey, and today I'm sure you must be thinking where we are. Such a beautiful flowers there. Yes, we are in Toronto, Canada, and we are here with Didi and Brother Eric in sacred form. So would like to welcome our dear angel brother Eric and Didi. So welcome to Vyakti Journey, a Vyakti Parivar Chit Chat.
Thank you, dear Bhumiji. It's nice to see you also in your Sakar form. Happy to all of us being in our Sakar form. And yet we are angels at the same time, so it's beautiful. So loving greetings to each and every one. And yes, we are in the beautiful garden of Toronto. Am I close enough, Mohini Didi, or should I come? Like in Zoom, we're closer in Zoom, no? And it's beautiful to be in the family. And yesterday we had the fortune of being with Sister Mani, and we're reflecting on the point of the Murli. And it just happens that today we talk about purity, and the thought we were reflecting on was, in the Murli, Baba said everything depends on the intellect. And some still have, Tamo Pradhan, very impure intellect. Some have Tamo intellect. Some have Rajo, middle intellect. Some have Sato intellect. And some Sato Pradhan intellect. So then I went inside and I asked my intellect, how are you? Checking which one it is. And we're discussing what's the difference, really. And hopefully Tamo Pradhan, like very impure intellect, it's out of the question. Tamo is out. Rajo, I don't know. Sato, pure and totally pure. So how would you describe the difference between at least Sato Pradhan, Sato and Rajo intellect? We can leave Tamo and Tamo Pradhan for another day, right?
Mm-hmm. Tamo is very negative, very dark, and so I think when we come to Baba, we immediately, some or other, change from Tamo. Tamo is gone. Rajo is kind of mixed, I have faith and doubt. I trust and I don't trust. It's like mixed, Rajoguni. Baba's Murli points and then our own dictates of mind is Rajo. So Rajo is one who lives more in the past also. The definition of Rajo according to Gita is anything which is stale is Rajo, like, leftovers. So past is leftovers, isn't it? What happened yesterday, why this happened, but that's gone now. No? So it's like you eating leftovers. Now Sato is everything fresh and past is past, and I have another chance to create something beautiful and pure and let go of what happened and I did all. And Sato Pradhan is you are above. You're not, it's just completely pure and clean. And I was thinking about Dadi Janki's definition of, she always used to say, truth. When you are Sato Pradhan, it's just natural. You don't have to think about truth and falsehood. You're naturally honest. Everything, all these good qualities are very natural. And you always look at something which is good in everyone, in everything. Now, Sato Pradhan has such an attraction, lot of attraction. Everything gets attracted. Nature, resources, because they want to serve a Sato Pradhan soul. So, I think that most of the souls are between either Rajo and Sato transition or between Sato and Sato Pradhan.
And
so
what
how
makes
many of you think you are between Sato and Sato Pradhan?
Feel personal, huh?
Let me see hands. Raise hands, Sato and between Sato and Sato Pradhan. No? What about between Rajo and Sato? I would have given you marks. Most of our children are most of the time between Sato and Sato Pradhan. Sometimes between Rajo and Sato. So we are at the border, in the borderline. I always say, maybe you are in silver age, just take another step to be in golden age, just go a little bit above. And same could be if you are sometimes Rajo is that your stage is very fluctuating. And so if it is like that, then still take high jump, go into the Sato, so it will be more consistent. So it's through the stage we know, through the quality of efforts, quality of relationships, we understand what kind of intellect one has, right?
So you are asking us a very personal question, and so let me ask you a very personal question then. So the intellect, the quality of the intellect changes over time when we are, of course, with Baba. So what was your experience of transforming the intellect, where you become aware, like it's almost as if you feel your intellect is more healthy and you feel, oh, it's better and better? How did you experience transiting from Sato to Sato Pradhan?
See, everyone is so much aware about eating healthy food. No sugar, not this, not this, not that. So when your intellect is really pure, it doesn't accept anything. I know many things I want to know, read, or it doesn't go in. And I had to just put down, I said, oh, I don't think and I know whenever there is something I say, can somebody help me to read this whole and tell me, in essence, if I have to deal with it or give answers? But I find that intellect doesn't accept. When it's Sato Pradhan intellect, it just, we used to ask Dadi Janki that if three people tell the story or a situation, all three in their own way describe it. But how do we know who is telling truth? She said, you don't have to. You be truthful and you will know. So I think that's what is when you become that, either purity or truth or honesty is you are natural in that, you will immediately know. Someone recently came that I make money, but I am deceived, deceived, deceived. And Dadi Janki used to say, sorrow and being deceived is not what a good intellect or Sato intellect will be. So what I find that somewhere you listen and it goes, not even 1 year to other. It doesn't even go in the ear. No, some people say I listen and it goes from other side. I said, but why it goes in even? Right? That also is effort. So I think that you can't accept anything.
But did it become natural for you, or did you feel you had to make effort at some point to really transform your intellect consciously?
Because when the quality is changing from Sato Rajo reaching Sato Pradhan, when it's reached there, then all this is natural, no? And you feel that, 1 year ago I still had something left with me, somebody said it. And now within 1 minute I say, well, Baba, they are your children, you sort out. And you have told me to remember you, that's what I will do. And Baba says, remembrance make you Sato Pradhan. There's no other way. That means as much you are becoming Sato Pradhan, you just naturally remember Baba also. And why should I? It's everyone's karmic accounts, it's everyone's, and who is right, who is wrong. Baba said either both are right, both are wrong. So I don't have to use my intellect to be judgmental and all that. So it's like it doesn't go in, plus a lot of natural love for everyone, but remembrance of one Baba. And if you can remember Baba, it's only Satopradhan intellect.
We're wondering with Stamani, what's the other step when your intellect is transformed? Then there's a question of the stage. And we're wondering, what's the difference between a Sato, like a pure stage, or Sato Pradhan, totally pure stage? And the question was, is there even any thoughts in that Sato Pradhan stage?
Yeah. Good wishes, blessings, benevolence, compassion, kindness is so natural in Satopradhan stage. Satopradhan stage is almost like Baba's, because that's what he is, ever pure and purifier. So that's kind of purity. Satopradhan is really purity, because new world is Sato world, golden aged world. That's why day before yesterday someone asked me, visions of golden age. I said, I want to feel golden age here. I want to experience golden age here. When we will go to golden age, it will happen like this. I don't know who will be aware. But at confluence age, because it's either you are pulled towards iron age or you are pulled towards golden age. So Sato intellect will have pull for home and new world naturally. My home is home of silence, peace, purity. I go there often, right? And then it's golden age, right? So you are not much like you were talking about floating. I also sometimes come outside and I just close my eyes because this is not my world. But you have to do seva. You have to be at airport. You have to be with people. But you don't feel belonging, right? But then also you have to give them feelings of love, not disinterest. If people find you are disinterested, won't have serve them, right? So for service, then we have lot of love for everyone, lot of love. And we don't look at bodies, right? Just the souls. Sato Pradhan intellect will look at the soul. Because then every thought, every vibration has to serve,
We enjoy this idea of the purity and the volcanic remembrance. And as even in the Murli today, Baba reminded us, only remembrance purifies the soul. And I know it's a question many of us have sometime, is how pure did I become, and how the remembrance really purifies the soul, and how is it working? And I sometimes wonder, it's like you put something in the oven, but if you don't turn on the oven strong enough, 3 hours later, it still looks like very uncooked. So we ask if we had a Sato or Sato Pradhan intellect, do you think we're cooked or half cooked, or are we using enough heat, or are we cooking well, do you think?
I think everyone has to look at, let's say, what happened last year. Something similar happened. What was your response? What did you took from it? Your attention didn't go? No, you will see the change, and that is in your stage. Like before, you will just argue about something, you try to convince about something, and now you just say, well, it's a different, right? So that's the difference of purity and the stage. Because the way your mind, intellect, and your vision, drishti, attitude is, from there you know your stage very well. So everyone should notice, that if similar thing would have happened. It happened last year, happening now. What was your response to that? How
And
did you?
if the response is the same, means we're not cooking well, right?
I don't know even if it's cooking. I don't know about well, because if it was cooking, it will be cooking, right? That means it's not cooking. That means somewhere basic, we are not paying attention to basic practices. And when there are no practices, there is no transformation, no accumulation of power. You know, learning and listening is not enough.
I'm using that analogy because, even this morning I was drinking tea and then it was getting cold, so put in microwave, then 20 seconds later it's warm again. So I know it worked. 20 seconds was good. When I remember Baba, sometimes I just wonder, okay, Baba, did we burn anything? When I go doing sport, now your watch, it tells you how many calories you burn. It's good. I think we should have a watch saying, 3 hours remembrance, you burn 3 lives of sins. That would be very useful. But sometimes I sit with Baba and I remember him and I say, did it work, Baba? Did we burn anything? Or was it strong enough? Was my remembrance really working or not? So when do we know the remembrance really put deep enough that you feel, okay, it's not just I'm remembering Baba, but it really burns something?
I think we shouldn't go into assessment because it's so subtle. Let's say even if I have one thought and we say Baba, could be a big response from there. Even I'm saying one thought. So keep assessing, is my yoga working? Is my yoga burning sincere? I think that anything you are doing, even little bit of remembrance, there is always some result there. Depends on how do I want to assess that result. But always internally have faith. It works. It works. It will always work. So I don't go into too much of did it work or not. I immediately say I have to just remember Baba. Now I say today when the flight starts, there should be very few people in the flight. Let's remember Baba. And I come and flight is full. So remembrance didn't work. So we don't test our remembrance. Recently somebody keeps saying, I'm doing yoga for this. I said, do yoga for yourself. Do yoga for yourself, and from your stage, automatically you will be able to help others. Right? So I think that why we want to measure that whether I put it in micro, but it's not micro, right? Nor it's oven. This is something so pure, that energy that, anyway, I don't measure my remembrance at any time. I mean, they'll say, I did it with love. Let's see drama and let's see how it works out. And then you see that it did work out. Right?
So you don't feel that maybe going into the seed stage will be more efficient than having chit chat with Baba? You don't think that one will be having more impact in cleaning the soul than the other?
I realize that every stage is important. Angelic is important, seed form stage, bodiless is. I realize that if we do not do all the practices like remembrance of Baba, every practice, every stage is important. Since few days I've been thinking that whichever stage one hasn't created, that will become your test paper. So create every stage, whichever Baba talks about. Seed form stage is useful for something else. Angelic stage is useful for some other things. So you have to think about in a different way now. Now if I have to go and help someone, now seed doesn't have wings, right? But angel has wings. So angel can reach there. So what that stage is, what practice is, and what service it does, I think we can churn on and create that for ourselves as a big lesson, But I realize that can't just say, Baba, you do it. But I have to have that stage. And then Baba will. And also, Baba, you are Karan Karavanar and I am sleeping. I'm doing it and it's not happening, it's difficult. Then I say, Baba, you are Karan Karavana. That means I have to do. Then he will be helping us. But sometimes we don't think that way. Otherwise, there is return of every thought. Why have to think whether I got return or not, how much return I got or not? Right? Every thought we create, somewhere it's a seed of it will go somewhere and it will sow in a different way. So I think that you have to have 100% faith on what we are listening, then we are practicing, the powers we are accumulating. Every waste thought has effect. So why not every elevated thought will have some kind of, somewhere it becomes active. Never think, one time I was in Trinidad and suddenly Sister Amlita found lot of pumpkins, lot of squash, lot of watermelon, and they never put seed, but they were throwing the seeds in garbage can. And one day garbage can or somewhere, those seeds were spreading. And they saw so many vegetables, so many fruits. Right? So seed, wherever seed will go, it will grow. And the same is seed form stages, your powerful thought, angelic stages. Say every stage has its own experience and service also.
Thank you, Mini Didi. I know we'll all get Toli maybe at some point, so the Zoom Toli will appear. We don't have Toli right now in the Sakar form. Toli is angelic now.
We can bring it.
It will come. I like when you said the example, the person who thinks Baba is Karan Karavanar, but I'm sleeping. I thought you meant Baba can help us to sleep by being Karan Karavanar and make us sleep.
But our assessment, we shouldn't be result-oriented personality. We should desirelessly, what I have to do, whether efforts or seva. But I did this much seva, so what did I get? I served this, so what did I get? I remember no. Just like accounting kind of thing, right? We are Baba's children, prince, princess. We just know from our crown of light and our crown of, what is our self-respect, the seat of self-respect. Be in that. Don't use your intellect too much into that could be Rajo intellect, definitely. So be Sato Pradhan. You are there between Sato and Sato Pradhan. Right? You take that gift. Okay.
So we'll ask the same question tomorrow, and then everyone will raise the hand. An intellect is Sato and Sato Pradhan.
Yeah, think about it. Why you going into maybe a little bit Rajo, not most of the time, right?
All right, time for showing Vikti Parivar what Toli we're going to have. That's the one you brought from New York, right?
Mm.
The fresh Toli.
They call it rolls. Pistachio and almond rolls. Inside is pistachio, outside. And it takes a lot of time because they have to soak the almonds to remove the skin. And then they have to make it,
Sounds like what Baba is doing with us,
Dadi
the
Jan,
soak and remove the skin, and then
Dadi
it
Janki
makes us into
used to
cholis.
say that any toli or any bhog takes maximum time to cook. That's the best bhog. But don't put just something, mix it and just offer Baba. Every time you move toli and bhog, you are creating your fortune. And Baba is looking at see with so much love, you making bhog. So that's another. Many times Dadi went to South America. In the beginning, we used to go to Brazil. And if she see the cake, she said, "This is not bhog." I said, "But Dadi, this is bhog." She said, "You didn't cook it." They said, "But is it cooked?" You didn't cook it. And that is why in London until now, when I came to, time is in the beginning when I came, so dadis were sisters. They came to my grandparents' home and we asked what your Baba eats. Can we send some cookies? Can we send? Because that's what I was 11 years old. We had only the no, only he eats pera. So said, from where we bring pera? Not from market. You have to make it. So we said, okay, next time when you come, we will buy a lot of milk for you. So anyway, we requested our seniors. So when they came, we give them a big, it's kind of frying pan. We call it karai. So they put milk in that, and it took about an hour. And then they make little, like in London, still in vogue, they have pedas. So lot of effort in that. But then that's what Brahma Baba likes. So that's what I think it's just the love. Some people say love means what? So when one place we went and this sister said, I don't like to make sweet and I have grapefruit in my tree outside. That's bhog for today. So I said, okay, that's you offer. You allow me to go in the kitchen. I will make halwa, at least simple thing. Like Dadi Janki, no, everywhere she made halwa. So it's, I think, some effort for everything. It's expression of love. Okay. Thank
Shanti.
you.
Thank you, Mani Didi.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Eric Bhai. So it's so nice to be here in Canada, in Toronto. So we, Avyakti Parivar, do travel together with Didi wherever Didi goes, right? So of course you all are with us, and we'll be here for next 10 days, and there will be amazing things will happen here. So you all will be part of it. So please stay with us every evening. There is something new every evening. And of course soon, on 15th of August, Mohini Didi's birthday is coming. And of course Rakhi's days are coming. So there will be much more. So for now, tomorrow is Sunday, and our schedule from Amritwela 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. Meditation will start at 6 a.m. followed by Hindi Sakar Murli, followed by meditation Bhog offering English Avek Murli until 9:30. Then evening 6 o'clock. Meditation will start followed by Spotlight Drishti sharing, Hindi series, meditation commentary by Didi, English series, and Avyakti journey. So now let's do Avyak Murli. Welcome to Avyakti journey. Avyak Murli is from 1969, speaking to the heart of an angel.
Om Shanti. Avyakt Murli,
of 30th May 1971. The Father's order and promise. As long as I have this godly birth, every second, every thought, and every task are for godly service. Those people sit on their seat for a short time and do their own service, but it is not the same for you. No matter where you may be, you must have the awareness of being on service. Then no weakness can come to you. When you leave the seat of your service, you are not able to set your stage. You should not leave your seat. You have intoxication when you sit on your seat. If you are constantly sitting on the seat of your position, would you not have the intoxication? Why do you leave your seat and your position? Do you get tired? It is just as you have shown in the picture of the king. First he has 2 crowns, and then Ravan takes 1 crown away from behind him. Does this happen now? Does Maya come from behind and take you away from your position? Maya will now come to give you regard and take leave. She should not come in any other form now. Now she will come just to take leave. Just as you show in the drama, the Iron Age taking leave and going away, so Maya comes, not in order to battle with you, but to take leave from all of you in a practical way. All of you have now come away from battling with Maya, have you not? If you battle with Maya even now, when would you experience supersenses happiness? You have to experience that now. You experience your fortune of the kingdom in the future, but you have to experience supersensuous happiness now. You're not able to have this experience when you battle with Maya. Having become the Father's children, if you do not experience supersensuous happiness at the present time, what have you done? A child means one who has a right to the inheritance. So always check whether you constantly attain the elevated inheritance of supersensuous happiness of the confluence age. If you only attain it for a short time, what is the difference? You have become the Father's children in order to have attainment for all time. So, why is there only the experience for a temporary period? You should have an unbroken, unshakable experience of this. Only then will you be able to claim the unbreakable, immovable kingdom. So, is it unbreakable, or does it break now and again? Which would look nicer? Something that has been broken and then put together, or something that is not broken at all? That which is unbroken is better. So this supersensuous happiness should also be unbroken and unshakable. Only then should you consider yourselves to have a right to the Father's inheritance. If it is not unbroken and unshakable, what should you consider it? Not that you have claimed the right for just a little inheritance. but that you have attained it as a little donation or in charity, and that you only attain it sometimes. An inheritance is always your own attainment, whereas a donation or charity is a temporary attainment. You are heirs. And so, the sign of an heir is that he has the right to the inheritance of supersensuous happiness. A father wills everything to his heir. He will make those who are not heirs happy by just giving them a little. The father wills everything to heirs. Those who are not heirs will be given a little and made happy. The Father is willing everything to you fully. What is the visible sign of those who have a full right to Baba's will? They have willpower. Their every thought is filled with willpower. Acha, to be continued. Om Shanti.
Transform the atmosphere with volcanic yoga tapasya. The power of purity. The great power of purity that you have is the most elevated power. It works like a fire to burn the rubbish of the world in a second. When you imbibe purity fully, the power of your elevated thoughts will then ignite the fire of love, and all rubbish will be burnt in that fire. You children now have to use this most elevated power.
ज्वालामुखी योग तपस्या द्वारा वायुमंडल का परिवर्तन करो। पवित्रता की शक्ति आप बच्चों के पास पवित्रता की जो महान शक्ति है, यह श्रेष्ठ शक्ति ही अग्नि का काम करती है, जो सेकंड में विश्व के किचड़े को भस्म कर सकती है। जब आत्मा पवित्रता की संपूर्ण स्थिति में स्थित होती है तो उस स्थिति के श्रेष्ठ संकल्प से लगन की अग्नि प्रज्वलित होती है और किचड़ा भस्म हो जाता है। वास्तव में यही योग ज्वाला है। अभी आप बच्चे अपनी इस श्रेष्ठ शक्ति को कार्य में लगाओ।